Time, put me in, coach. Today we are talking about LeBron James and Isaiah Stewart's suspensions. Do you agree with them? How do you feel about them? Because Isaiah got 2 games where LeBron only got 1. Was this fair? Also, we're going to talk about who is having a bigger impact. Is it Steph Curry or is it LeBron James? I'm going to give you guys a nice breakdown. I'm going to ask, which player are you leaning towards? Is it LeBron or is it Steph Curry? Before we get into this video, I need you guys to do me a huge favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video like an assist, because here we are talking basketball. So you're going to get game analysis, highlights, and we're going to cover the biggest stories in the world of basketball. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Isaiah Stewart and LeBron James both received suspensions for their altercation. The question that I have for you guys is, do you agree with the suspensions? I do, and here are the reasons why. Number one, I understand Isaiah Stewart's anger in receiving that elbow, by taking that elbow to the head, to the face, because it actually cut him open, caused him to start bleeding. I caught an elbow myself, but the difference was once I reacted and responded, my anger came all the way down. The NBA also had to send him a message. Is this the type of image that you want to give out to the rest of the NBA? To the rest of the world, that you are a dirty player? Because when I looked up his highlights, I noticed that he gets into scuffles with a lot of people. He gets into verbal arguments with a lot of different players in the NBA, where they have that look on their face where you know something is about to happen, like a confrontation opposed to competitive basketball. It looks like he's actually looking for fights. When you're grabbing and pulling and tugging on a guy, eventually he's going to snatch away from you. Now, LeBron was wrong because he actually caught him with that elbow, which actually did a lot of damage. That blood, I'm sure Isaiah Stewart saw it. You feel the blood running down his face with his sweat. So I'm sure that's the thing that set him over the edge. Now, when it comes to money between these two players, Isaiah Stewart has to be much smarter, because he lost 2 game checks totaling in about $90,000. LeBron James is losing $284,000. That's a huge difference. I agree with the NBA suspending LeBron for 1 game against the New York Knicks. Would have made a lot of money on LeBron James, because there's so many people in New York that the ticket price is going to go up. There's only a certain amount of tickets available, but there is a lot of people in New York who want to see LeBron James live, up close and personal. I know LeBron James is frustrated with the NBA's action towards him, because he actually went up and tried to apologize to the guy. He made sure that he stayed clear of him, and Isaiah Stewart was the guy who was continuously coming after him. Now, this could have easily turned into a malice in the palace type of situation. It didn't. And that kind of leads me to ask the question, can Isaiah Stewart really play? Because when I see him play, even when I looked at his highlights, he reminds me of a Patrick Beverley, a Draymond Green, one of the Morris twins, a Dennis Rodman type of player. Now, I did see some highlights where he could dunk the ball and he can shoot the ball, but a lot of his highlights were him getting into it with other players. So if there was anybody that this elbow was going to happen to, it would have been him. You cannot grab and tug and push and pull on players play after play. It's going to get old. Somebody's going to react. I don't care what level you playing on. Isaiah Stewart really has to take a second and think about his image in the NBA. When you're getting kicked out of games and you're being fined, that's a completely different conversation. It's the next topic. LeBron James, Steph Curry. Who is having the bigger impact today? It took me some time to really think about it, but it's Steph Curry. And it's actually a no-brainer. Now, I'm going to go ahead and compare the two players, because I'm interested to see, what do you guys think, who do you guys think is having a bigger impact in the NBA? We have 2 players who are opposite of each other. You have Steph Curry, who's 6'3" and under 200 pounds. Whereas you have LeBron James, who's 6'8", maybe 6'9", and anywhere from 240 all the way up to about 280. Small player and a big player. Now, Steph Curry shoots the lights out. He sets records. Matter of fact, he sets his own records and then breaks them. Whereas LeBron is catching people on the all-time list. So we have two guys that are setting records. It's just one guy is actually setting his own records and then completely annihilating those records, especially when it comes to the three-point shot. Now, LeBron James is known for coming down and tomahawking on people. When it comes to pace of play, you got LeBron James, who plays a slower pace. He's actually able to make decisions based on mismatches, which a lot of the times the guy that's guarding him is going to be the biggest mismatch, because LeBron James is strong, fast, athletic, and he has a man's body. He's either going to be faster than you, stronger than you, or able to use his athletic gifts to his advantage. Now you have a Steph Curry who's actually highly skilled. So it's funny to me when I hear people talking about who has the best handles on the planet. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, it is Kyrie, but Steph Curry is right there. Now, the reason why Steph Curry is right there is because when he does a hesitation, you have to go for it, because if you don't, he will break a record on you. In fact, he will break his own record on you. You can actually kind of play off of him a little bit and try to guard the basket more. Whereas Steph Curry, you have to wonder where he is as soon as he crosses half court, because he is the guy who shoots from the low. Michael Jordan's fadeaway shot, or how dominant and how great Wilt Chamberlain was. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the hook shot. Steph Curry has came in and changed the way we see basketball, period. LeBron James was the old style of play, which was, hey, we're going to find the mismatches, we're going to go at those mismatches, and we're going to post those guys up, especially if it's against a little guy. Whereas Steph Curry, they're playing a fast pace. If you don't have the open shot, pass it. Other guys, if you can't shoot, cut. And if you can't cut, then be ready to pass the ball or be ready to play defense. These are the things that open up the floor for a guy like Steph Curry. Steph Curry is dangerous as soon as he is on offense, because he can break you down off the dribble. He can break you down off of the pick and roll. And he's even more dangerous when he doesn't have the ball, because he's constantly moving. When you come off of the screen, you have three options, just like the triple threat position where it's dribble, pass, or shoot. Now, when you're coming off of a screen, right, you have your regular action, which is to come off the screen and pop out like a V cut. Then you have what's known as a curl, which means if the defense is guarding you, now instead of popping out to get your shot, now you curl in hopes of getting a layup. But Steph Curry is even more dangerous, because depending on if the defense decides to play on the opposite side of the ball, now Steph Curry can do what's known as a fade cut, which means he gets to the screen and he fades going backwards. Now, that play is dangerous because you don't know which way Steph Curry is going to come off of that screen. And he is the guy who's going to catch and knock the shot down. He's changed the way we even see video games. They have guys in video games who are shooting three-pointers from spots on the court, and they were not great three-point shooters when they played the game of basketball. Now, when I see an NBA 2K and they're making certain centers who can shoot the three, this was not something that everybody did. This is a specialty of Steph Curry, and it was not ever like that. I want to ask you guys, how do you guys feel? Is LeBron James having a bigger impact, or is it Steph Curry? When LeBron James is not on the court, my Lakers are struggling. Now, we have a coaching issue, which means we need better defense. We also have a Russell Westbrook turnover issue, which I was like, man, I've been a Russell Westbrook fan this whole time, but seeing a guy like Russell Westbrook play up close and personal on a nightly basis is a little nerve-wracking, because Russell Westbrook looks unguardable on certain plays, and then on certain plays you like, why is Russell Westbrook on the court? Right? So you constantly asking yourself those two questions. But when you have LeBron James on the court, it's put the ball in LeBron James's hands and everybody just kind of react off of what LeBron is doing. Now, that style of play is boring because it's not much movement. Whereas with the Golden State Warriors, everybody is moving. So the defense has to move. The LeBron James style defense is actually able to kind of set up and just kind of move in, move real slow, kind of rest, right? When you're playing against LeBron, you get an opportunity to rest if you're not guarding LeBron or the guy that's screening or the one or two guys that he can kick it out to for threes. Other than that, you get to kind of relax on defense, whereas playing against the Golden State Warriors, you do not get a chance to relax on defense. Two questions. How do you guys feel about the Isaiah Stewart, LeBron James suspensions? Do you guys think that was worth it? And the other thing is, who do you think has the bigger impact in the NBA right now? Steph Curry or LeBron James? Comment under below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.